Good morning, friends and family of YouTube. It's Travis once again, and I had planned to hike Chimney Tops today. I was really looking forward to it, but unfortunately the road headed that direction is blocked. I know we had some storms and some heavy rains and wind last night, so I'm sure that's what caused it. But anyway, I'm doing an impromptu hike, and we're gonna go to Old Sugarlands Trail. And I didn't do directions on this because I thought I was going to Chimney Tops, and I'd done a video on that one already and included directions. But it's just down from Sugarland Visitor Center. So if you're coming from Townsend, the Townsend Y, and you come to Sugarland, you're going to make a left coming back towards Gatlinburg. And there's a little bit of parking here. You can see the old Mazda. Probably enough spaces for maybe 4 cars. But again, it's right down here from Sugarlands Visitor Center. So let me switch over to the chest mount and we will get started. All right, so right here is the very entrance to the trail. So make sure you can see it. There's the Mazda and here's the trail, but there's this old bridge and I just want to walk down here real quick and see what this looked like. All right, so definitely not any water through here, which kind of surprises me. But let me go over here just a little bit farther and see. Sounds like there's some running water. So this looks like an overflow. If the water levels get too high, go this direction. Well, it's a neat area. A little difficult to navigate, but you can see the river up there. Whew. Lose my balance here. And as you can tell, we did get a lot of rain, and last week we had a bunch of snow, and that's starting to melt off. So water levels are flowing a lot heavier than they normally do. So anyway, there's just a shot of the bridge. But anyway, we'll head back up here and actually get back on the trail. All right, so headed back up here to actually start the trail now. But that was interesting, just to see what that bridge looks like. And here we go. All right, and so right here at the beginning of the trail, I just happened to notice this. I always think these are all kind of cool. These U.S. Geological Survey markers. So thought I would just give you a shot of that real quick. And we're literally like right here at the start of the trail. And let's see what this here says. Burned area, stay on trail, avoid this area during and after high winds. So that's not good because we had high winds yesterday. Don't linger around burned trees. Hazards include loose rocks, falling trees, limbs, flooding. Parts of the trail may be damaged or blocked by debris. Trees along the trail may have been weakened. All right, well, that is good to know. So let's head this way. And let's just cut down here real quick. I don't know how far this trail actually follows the river itself. So try to get a few water shots before we get too far. And right there's the bridge we were just at. So probably could have went that way, it'd been a lot easier. But as you know, I typically go the most difficult route possible. Stand here on the rocks in the water. Here's a shot of the bridge, then the river itself. And as you can see, the water levels are definitely up from all the rain and snowfall that's melted, which is good. Back in October, November time frame, the water levels were way down due to a drought that we had for several weeks. but now it's actually higher than what it should be, but it's good to at least see the water levels are healthy again. Hopefully it doesn't cause too much flooding down in the lower parts. All right, so conditions today are not that great. It's 40 degrees. They're calling for rain throughout the day. It's actually sprinkling a little bit on me right now, but that was one of the reasons why I had decided to go to Chimney Tops, because it's one of the more popular trails, and I thought the weather would deter most people from being there, and I'd kind of be there on my own, right? So anyway, but with the road being blocked, we're gonna try Old Sugarlands Trail. And even though, like I said, it's 40 degrees and it's rainy, this feels like a spring day compared to last week when we had temperatures down to 0 with anywhere to 5 to 12 inches of snow. And I know there's a lot of places that get a lot colder than that. I've seen, my wife showed me a video just last night, and I can't remember where it was at, but it was like negative 36 somewhere in the United States. Way too cold for me. And the snowfall, I know that's not a lot for most places, but for us it was quite a bit. So I've had my fill of snow. I'm ready for spring. I was gonna swing around here real quick and show you this. Just a big rock wall, which is really awesome. Try to not use that word too many times. I've had to do videos where I've had to go back out and just edit every time I said awesome, like 27 times within 2 minutes. So anyway, we'll try not to do that. But let's move up here to the trail a little bit farther. Here's just another shot of the water as we go up the trail. Water levels are definitely healthy. So let's see if we can walk down here. Pretty good view. I mean, we're still right here at the bridge. I haven't walked but maybe 5 minutes. As I mentioned, this was a last-minute change in trails that I'm hiking today. So luckily where I pulled off here at the trailhead, I still had cell reception, so I was able to download the map off of All Trails app, and it says that up and back on this trail is 7.5 miles. And the hike that I was gonna do Chimney Tops, go up to Chimney Tops, and then there's a second part of the trail that branches off, which I don't think a lot of people do. It was gonna add like another 5 miles to it, so that was gonna be 8.5. So anyway, 7.5, still gonna be a pretty decent hike. I just don't know what to expect on this trail because I didn't do any research because I didn't think I was going to be on this one. Well, this will be a surprise for all of us, but I saw the trail here. It just breaks off and goes down through here. We'll get another shot of the water. I feel like we're going to get away from that here in just a little bit. I feel like we're just going to be up in the woods and there's not going to be any water. And these levels are much, much higher than normal. But even if you don't do this whole trail, I mean, you can literally get on here and walk 5 or 10 minutes and you're still going to see some really cool sights. Here's just one more shot of the river. Alright, so let's get back on the trail. I know you guys are tired of watching the river, but I never get tired of it. But I know that you probably do, so let's get back to it. Alright, last thing before I switch back to the chest mount again is with the scattered rain showers that I'm going to experience today. I'm going to do my best to keep the lens wiped off so it doesn't blur any of the video, but you may see that from time to time. So if so, I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance for that. I think it may be tough depending on how much rain that I do get. Hopefully it'll hold off till I can get the majority of the hike done. But anyway, just wanted to mention that. All right, so you probably won't find this very interesting, but I do. I just happened to notice this as I was walking by, and it looks like an old stone wall that they made. And I don't know if this was actually used for something. It looks like there's a trail that might have went down there at one point, or if they were just moving rocks out of the way and they decided to stack that there. I mean, we're right here at the water still, but anyway, it's just kind of neat to see the old stonework. I mean, that's definitely man-made, but that's another one of the reasons that I like hiking in the winter time, because all the vegetation has kind of died out for the most part, and you can see things that normally you might have missed. But yeah, that looks like a road bed that they may have used at one point to get down to the river for some reason. I mean, it's right off the main trail. But anyway, I just thought that was kind of cool. Thought I would point it out. Well, I'm about 30 minutes in, I think, on this trail, and I'm still by the water, which is nice. But I can't imagine that this is gonna stay next to the river the entire time. And I'm not gonna focus a ton on it, but I wanted to at least let you know, if you wanted to hike a little ways in, you can still stay by the river for at least half hour or so, maybe even longer, depending on how far the trail follows this. But I just felt like at some point it's gonna break off. All right, so I'm about 0.75 miles in, and let's see, Newfound Gap Road, 0.5 miles this way. And then it says Cherokee Orchard, 3.4. So I'm assuming Cherokee Orchard is maybe going down that direction. And then Grassy Branch Trail, Horse Trail, 2 mile lead trail, 0.8 miles to the left. And then 2 mile branch trail, 1.1. So, all right, so this is kind of our first intersection. You can tell the difference between the old weathered sign up there, and this is a newer one that they've done, which you can read just a little bit better. Anyway, I kind of prefer the old ones myself, but all right, so let's head on. But I'm assuming that's where that breaks off and you go that direction. We'll see as we get up here a little bit farther. All right, well, I thought when I first looked at this, when this branched off, that it went that way. Actually, that just loops back up to the trail that we're doing. But I'm just gonna show you this real quick. This is where Cherokee Orchard Trail bears off to and goes this direction. So we're not gonna head that way, but just kind of give you a heads up what that looks like. We're gonna head back up here and hit the main trail again. Well, this definitely looks recent, and my guess is this won't be the last one of these we see based on the weather that we've had recently. This one up here looks like it might have fallen down a while back, but as you can see, we just went under one. Here's 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 that I can see. So I feel like we may run into quite a few of these on that trail, but I think we'll persevere. Well, I might have spoken too soon and jinxed myself. This one looks like it's been here for a while. This one looks relatively new. I'm trying to decide, go up around or just trying to go across here. Maybe right here. Looks like the easiest. Yeah, this one's been down for a little bit. There's some evidence that there's been other people that's had to go across this, but ooh, man, oh man. I hope it's not like this the whole trail. Anyway, keeps things interesting. All right, so as you can tell, I'm headed back across this mess. I can do it without falling. But the All Trails app, I had it running, right, for navigation, and I had my volume turned up. I normally keep my volume on in case I get into a spot where I can get cell reception. I'll get a notification and I can text my wife and let her know where I'm at, let her know everything's okay. But I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not, but I'm actually off course. That's what the All Trails was telling me about. This is that Cherokee Orchard is actually the direction that I needed to go, and luckily I hadn't went that far. But the cool thing about this app is if you do get off trail when you're using it, it'll notify you and say, hey, I think you took a wrong turn. So man, if I hadn't had this on, I mean, there's no telling how far I would have hiked, because like I said, I didn't have enough time to really do any research just sitting in the truck, because I didn't think I was going to hike this today. But anyway, let's head back down here and we'll go back to where Cherokee Orchard Trail is and head that way and get back on course. All right, so let's try this again. When you get to this point where you see this sign that says Old Sugarlands Trail, but it says Cherokee Orchard Road, like the sign doesn't say, hey, you're going to take Old Sugarlands Trail this direction. But based on the All Trails app, and luckily the notification it gave me, I was headed in the wrong direction. So instead of going straight like I did, we're going to branch off down here where I showed you a minute ago and take this route. And apparently this is the direction I should have went. So thank you, All Trails, for keeping me on the straight and narrow here. Glad I realized it that quickly. But anyway, live and learn. So here we go. And this takes us right back down to the river again, so that's kind of cool. Stop and look at this for a minute. I know you're getting tired of it, I apologize, but I can't get enough of this. Trying to get a better view with the trees not being in the way. Whoa, still slick. And that looks like a big rock wall that was built over there. That doesn't look natural. Definitely looks man-made. And even right in through here, it looks like that was a wall that was built. But anyway, let's continue on if I can do this without tripping over my own feet. Well, I noticed there was like a smaller creek that's running into the main river over there. And then I saw this, of course, so it's a bridge. And as you know, I got to go here and check it out, see what this looks like. Definitely a smaller one. Nothing overly exciting. But it is still a bridge nonetheless. And today it's got quite a bit of water going through it. So hopefully you can see that. So we'll jump back up here on the main trail. I did want to mention the fact that most of this trail, though, has been fairly flat. There was a little bit of incline at the very beginning, but so far it's been like this most of the way, so just kind of keep that in mind. I mean, I know this is 7.5 miles round trip, and I'm sure I'm going to get into some spots where we do have to climb up the hill, but I mean, you can hike in quite a ways and you really don't have to, you know, basically kill yourself trying to go up inclines, which is just the opposite of what I was expecting today when I thought I was going to climb Chimney Tops, because to me it's one of the worst as far as just a short distance, but man, you go straight up the mountain. So anyway, nice change of pace. Still a little disappointed I didn't get to hike Chimney Tops. I was kind of mentally prepared, and actually I was going to just turn around and go back and do one of my usual hikes as a backup. And as I was turning around, I saw Old Sugarland Trails, which I had not done before. So I'm glad that I took the opportunity to at least try it out and see what it looks like. Well, here's another rock wall structure. Just want to take a minute and look at it. As you can see, this runs from the trail all the way down through here. And I'm just curious, like, what the heck this would have been used for back in the day. I mean, it runs all the way up through there and then back that direction. Just kind of odd. I don't know if it was used to maybe like trap some water, or maybe used to prevent water from coming up and flooding. Maybe there was a house back here at one point and they did that to keep the water at bay if the river ever got up. That's the only thing I can think of. Anyway, kind of a neat little spot. All right, so I'm come up to another intersection here. Old Sugarlands Trail, Cherokee Orchard, this direction. So that's where we want to go. And then this says Newfound Gap Road, where we just came from. So 1.4 miles, I guess. Seems a little longer than that, but anyway, I did notice this here. So I was trying to figure out why this trail kind of broke off a little bit. And then what do you know? There was a house back here. And it's had a tree fall on it recently. It's been sawed down. Well, look at that. It's what's left of the fireplace. Here were the steps going up. Oh yeah, you can tell where the tree fell there. It was a big tree too. Came down. I'm surprised it did not knock that down. That's crazy. And then, let's see what else is over here. There's some leftover pots. This actually looks like it was part of an old water pipe. And then, I'm assuming this was part of like a stove or something, maybe. Or the furnace. Going over the fireplace. Anyway, there's the trail. Like, that's where we just came from, so that'll be the trail that we head off to. But yeah, that's pretty neat. I love finding these places back here. And then what the heck is this? So this is made out of concrete. And there's several of them. So I don't know if these were set up and maybe carried water in on top of it, kind of like over at Cades Cove when you go look at the grist mill area, where they have the wooden trough that brings water in to make the water wheel move. Just a thought. I don't really know, but I was just gonna walk back here and see. There's definitely been other people that's went this direction, so I'm just curious to see what's back here. See, here's a water source coming in, and there's more these concrete pieces. And then it looks like this might have been a well back here. Possibly. And then we'll go back here a little farther. I know this video is going to be a little bit longer than I had originally planned, but I want to show you the stuff while I'm back here, and then plus I can go back and look at it later if I forget. But see, there's part of that pipe that I think was used to bring water in. But the thing that caught my eye was this other stone wall back here. So I don't know if there would have been another house or building, but I mean, that's stone and concrete. And then this looks like it was some makeshift steps that were built. And then it just levels off here. I don't see anything else. But I'll walk up here to the top of the hill and make sure I'm not missing anything. Looks like there's been a path up here. People probably done the same. My guess is this is probably nothing, but while I'm here, I'm gonna check it out. Oh, wait, no. And this is why it pays to investigate, right? You see these little trails and you go off, and you'll probably hear my All Trails app beep at me here in a minute, saying, hey, you're off course. There's like a big old sinkhole with a pipe running into it, so I don't know, maybe that's where the sewage went to. I mean, I don't know how sophisticated this would have been or how long ago it would have been. I got used to that flat ground and I had to climb up that little bit of hill trying to catch my breath. But I mean, look at this. I mean, all kinds of stuff that people have found up here. It says Bowers. Can't tell if they had any electricity. Yeah, electricity of some sort. Got some metal hinges, an old can, broken bottle. There's the old top to a old jug. It looks like that would have been a sink or a toilet. Yeah, way to pick that up, Trav. But anyway, there you go. Let's go around to the back side here. All right, so this would have been the front of it. So I'd assume there would have been a cabin here, and then there's another chimney over here too. There's more pipe running from it. And here's another one. We'll around and get a shot of that in a second, but I saw this. So there was a pipe here. I can only assume that was for water, maybe pumping it up from the ground. If they had electricity, they could have had a pump. Or it might have been the old manual pump too. But so here's the front of that one. So I don't know if that would have been two separate buildings or one large building. I'm not seeing anything else here in the area that gives me any kind of indication. Look at this for just a second. It caught my eye. No, it's just a rock. I thought it might have been like some kind of a headstone, the way that it was shaped. Huh. Very, very interesting. Anyway, I'm glad I took the time to come up here and check this out and didn't miss it. Just fascinating. Just wish I knew the history behind it. I'm sure somebody up here does. I noticed this. I'm not that far from where we just filmed where those chimneys were at, but like I noticed these large trees through here, and they've got some blue dots on the other side where they've painted them. But the fact that like this is just a straight shot down through here, I mean, that's not naturally occurring. Somebody's planted these here for some reason. You can see where they've got them marked on this side. That's what caught my eye. But in fact, that's just like a straight line of those. So definitely signs that there were people living back here in the day. But yeah, I've not seen that before, so that's pretty cool. And I did notice here, there's some tags on here. I think that one says 4/23, and that one says 4/24. So there's some kind of significance to these. I don't know what it is, but anyway, if somebody knows, please let me know. Alright, so coming up on another sign here. See what it says. Old Sugarlands Trail, Newfound Gap Road 1.5 that way, Cherokee Orchard 2.4 this direction. And then what the heck is this? It's definitely a gravel road. And then I have no idea what this would have been. I mean, but it looks like something would have been parked right in there. There's some kind of metal frame. I'm just gonna walk down here. I don't know how far this goes. I don't want to get too far off the trail, but I am curious to see what this looks like down through here. Well, I'm still not 100% sure where this goes. I do see a wild pig trap out here in the background, so that's not encouraging. But gosh, I don't have any idea how far this goes, but the curiosity has gotten the best of me. And my All Trails app says if we go farther up the main trail that there is the Old Sugarlands Cemetery, and I see some kind of a structure back here, background. Man, this video is going to be ridiculously long because I didn't know all this stuff was back here. And I'm not staying on the main trail. I'm venturing off in every different direction. I just don't know if there's an easy way to get over there to that, though. Alright, well, there's definitely some kind of structure, and I am determined to get over there and look at this. Now, I'm probably going to fall in the water, but I want to see what this looks like. I mean, I have no idea what this would have been for. But, I mean, it's a rock wall that runs all the way down through here. But for what purpose? No idea. But it took some work to build it. All right, well, let me head back down here to this trail to see where it goes. Gosh, I just hope it doesn't go too much farther, because I still got to do the main hike to the end of this. So I just walked a few more minutes from where I was just at up this trail and just saw this. So here's some more pieces. Looks like part of an old boot. And some metal pieces, some more pipe, glass. Which I would assume that there's something back through here somewhere, but I can't see anything from here, but let me just check it out real quick. Well, I wandered back here hoping that there would be something, but that's the direction I just came from. I'm not seeing anything. So let's head back and see where this driveway ends at, and then where we can actually get back on the main trail again. We still got a ways to go. I'm not 100% sure, but I think on that hillside back there, that is the Old Sugarlands Cemetery. I just don't know if this leads to it. I'm hoping it does. I can hear traffic off in the background, so I think we're close to a primary road. But I'm not sure where this goes. We're gonna find out though, because it looks like it forks here. So I'm really hoping that goes up here. Before I do that, I'm gonna go this direction. I want to see where it ends. So let's go here. See if it comes out at the road or river or what. But let's try this first. Well, definitely some activity going on here. You can see where the river is. Man, I hope this isn't much farther. I mean, I've still got quite a ways to go on this hike. I'm just out wandering around. So I can go under it. I think I'm gonna go around it. Here's another piece. I mean, it looks like that's part of a stove. Let's go up this way. This looks easier. If I didn't have my backpack on, I could go under that tree fairly quickly, but like my hiking poles and everything gets caught when I try to go under those. All right, so the trail split back there just a minute ago. I thought this was the main one, and it may be. It just keeps going. I'm out of gas if I want to try to complete the rest of this trail, so I'm gonna go back down here. I'll show you where this trail split off. It wasn't much of one. I think it goes down next to the water. I just want to see where that goes, and then we're gonna go back down to where the it split again, and it looks like hopefully it goes up there to the cemetery. So let me get you back down here, and we'll see if we can get some kind of an ending on this one. I hate to leave it just out in limbo, but I am completely off trail. If anybody had to come looking for me, I doubt they would ever come this way, so I don't like doing that. But so let me get down here and see. Oh, look, there's an old metal beam and a pipe. So definitely some activity back here at some point. But I'll show you where this little trail split off, and if you decide to go this way, you can figure out if you want to see that or not. And there's another, like a metal beam. Okay, so this is where the trail split just a minute ago, and I went that direction just because it was a lot more worn. But I'm gonna go this way now, and I'm assuming this just goes down here to the river, but I mean, it's right there, so I can see it and hear it. I just want to see where this goes to. I need some kind of closure for this part of the trail, so let's see what it looks like. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but there's a stone wall right up there. I think that was part of the trail that I just came from, and I couldn't see it from up there. And then there's another stone wall here that was built for some reason. So I don't know if these were like actually had a purpose, or if it was just when they were having to clear rocks out of the way and they decided to pile them up and make a wall. All right, as I was saying before, my first GoPro battery finally ran out of juice and died on me. I don't know if these walls serve a purpose, if they were markers for something, or if it was just when they were clearing out the trail, they just decided to stack the stones in some kind of a formation. But anyway, still interesting. It's always kind of neat to see man-made stuff when you're out here in the middle of nowhere. But hopefully we'll get to the end of this part of the trail very soon. I mean, we're right here at the water, so there's a lot of cool shots. I'm just wanting to see where this trail ends. Well, it looks like this part of the trail does have a finale, thank goodness. See what kind of a view we've got. Yeah, that is definitely something you would not want to fall into. Wow. I'm gonna keep my distance on that. Come down here just a little bit farther. Just kind of give you an idea of what that looks like downstream. That's a lot of water. Alright, so at least we made it here. We know this has a finale. I see something up there like a ridge line. I don't know if that's actually I think that may be the road. I haven't seen any cars go by yet, but it looks like it could be. But man, there's nowhere to cross here unless that trail goes on up and there's a bridge, which I doubt it. So anyway, I'm gonna turn around. We'll go back to see if we can find the cemetery. Alrighty then, so I'm back down to the trail. This is the way to take us down that main road that we've been working on. This is the other direction where I think the cemetery's up here. And I'm sure there's an easier way to get to it than this. But anyway, I hope this trail heads up that way. It doesn't look like it, but let's see. Oh, I think we may be in luck. I thought this trail was gonna turn off and go back up this direction, but we're headed towards this what looks like the cemetery. My guess is there's another entrance on the other side that takes you out to the main trail if we'd have stayed on that. At least that's my hope. If not, I'm gonna have to backtrack all the way back down through there. But if I have to, so be it. Well, according to the All Trails app, this is not the Old Sugarlands Cemetery. I'm trying to walk on the outskirts here to be respectful, but they tend to be facing that direction. Look, and somebody has brought, I mean, this is fairly recent, and I'm gonna lay it here. I'm not sure who that belongs to, but it was laying back here. I'm sure the wind blew it off. So somebody has been up here recently. There's another one. Like, there's some flowers on some of these graves. I mean, look at this one. I can't read it, but you can tell how thin that one is. I am gonna walk right up through here. I'm trying to stay within the confines of where the graves should be, but in order to get back through here, I can't tell. But somebody came up here and put these wreaths on, and the wind has completely blown most of them off. I think there's one more up here. I'm going to try to set it up. Can't make out. Died January 14th, 1912. Age 72, James Bowling. So I can only assume that there's some kind of maybe a historical preservation organization that comes up here and puts those on. Because like I said, those are all, they're still green. So they haven't been up here very long. There's one more up here on the corner. I'm gonna fix it in just a second. But my All Trails app is saying that the actual Sugarland Cemetery is back over behind me. So we're gonna have to go back and hit the main trail again. I honestly thought this was it, and there would be another trail that come back out here and connected to the main part but it did not. So I don't know what this one is. So if anybody knows, please let me know. But man, that was a journey to get here, but it was worth it. I mean, this will be one of those places that I may not ever have the opportunity to come visit again. So we'll just scan through here. But anyway, we'll head back out. I'm gonna go circle around, fix that last one, circle around and go back out, and we'll catch back up when we hit the main trail again. And hopefully we can find the cemetery, assuming this is not it. So stay tuned. All right, so I'm back on the main trail again. So this is where I just came from. That was that whole task of going down, trying to figure out where the end of that went. We got to the river, and then we found that cemetery. So now this is the direction we originally came in, and this is the way that I am headed now to continue on the main trail, and hopefully we find the Old Sugarland Cemetery, assuming that wasn't the one that we're already there. Like I said, the All Trails app saying it's on farther on up here, so we will find out here eventually. At least I hope I will. Well, this part of the trail is definitely going upward on an incline, and as you can see, there's been a lot of trees down, and they've come through and they've tried to clear these out the best they could temporarily. But man, there are several trees down. A lot more than I expected. And this all looks pretty recent. Looks like a big one, big tree coming up here a little further on the trail. Now the All Trails app keeps telling me that I'm getting closer to where I'm supposed to turn off to get to the Old Sugarlands Cemetery, but I swear I'm not seeing it. So I hope I'm not missing it. And like I said, the one that I went to, that was probably it. I mean, I can't imagine that there would be two that close together out here kind of in the middle of nowhere. So it may just be that the All Trails app is off. But I thought there would at least be a sign up that said what it was. I'll check the app again here in just a second. Get past this monstrosity. I don't really want to touch that because that is poison oak. And that stuff will still give you an allergic reaction even when that vine is dead. Whew. All right. Still more trees. I mean, look at it up through there. Good grief, looks like a war zone. Well, I just happened to catch this out of the corner of my eye as I was passing this area. Here's another one of these just rock piles out in the middle of nowhere. And I can only assume these were used for some kind of a marker back in the day, kind of let people know where they were at. But anyway, I did not see another path over there to the cemetery, so I'm pretty sure the one that we stopped at was the only one here. So anyway, let's continue on. We still got a little ways to go. And this is why you don't want to be up here on the trails when it's storming and the winds are blowing hard. The ground gets loosened up like this, and the wind just absolutely blows these huge trees over. I mean, this part of the trail has been like this all the way, and there's more trees down. I mean, there's two big ones, three big ones. It's a smaller one, but yeah, that's some impressive damage. I mean, this is just non-stop. It's like tree after tree after tree. It'd take the Park Service a couple of weeks to clean this off, just to come up here and work on this one by itself. So I can't imagine what the other trails look like right now. And I'm looking at this one up here. I'm going to stop it and I'll pick it back up in just a second. But there's another one up here that looks like a massive tree that's fallen across the trail. This is that other big tree that I was talking about. I mean, imagine being out here on this trail when this storm hit and you're trying to dodge all of this. I mean, there's nowhere to go for safety. Oh man, I don't even know if I can get through this. May have to take my backpack off, but well, not as bad as I thought, but it's still been a challenge. And it doesn't look like I'm done yet. So stay tuned. Man, here's another one. I mean, that's the one I just came through. And I'm already at this one. This is like having to run the sprint in the Olympics, but you got to do the hurdles too. Ah, okay. I'm not going to film going through it, but I did want you to see at least what I'm having to go through right now. So, all right, here we go. This is not the same set of trees that I just keep showing over and over again to make it look like I'm exaggerating how bad this trail is right now. It may look that way on the GoPro, but it's not the same trees. And I'll be honest with you, I'm starting to wear down. This is a lot. Ugh. Man, and these things are slick. Oh, and look, hey, there's another one. I gotta climb over. It's actually easier going over these than it is ducking under them with his backpack on. Oh man. And there's another set. I mean, I bet there's at least 30 or 40 trees on this so far. But I'm so close to the finish line here. I'm not giving up. This will be easier going back when I'm going downhill. But trying to go uphill and then maneuver over these trees has been a little difficult, not gonna lie. But we're getting close to the finish line, so I'll be there hopefully in a little bit. I'm gonna pan around here in a second to my left. There's about 5 turkeys that I can see. I just don't know how well you're gonna be able to see them on the GoPro. I'm trying to be quiet so I don't spook them. There they are. You see them down there? All right, enough of that. Continue on. Well, I've come up to another intersection here, and this poor sign's seen better days. So Newfound Gap, 3.2 miles back to where we just came from. Cherokee Orchard, which I think is where we're headed, is 0.7 this way. But I want to see what this is. This is Grassy Branch Trail, 1.7, and Horse Stable, 3.1. So, man, this trail branches off into a bunch of different ones. I think, according to my All Trails map, we're going to come up to another couple of intersections here in a minute. So I'll try to get those here shortly. Here's another intersection that I was telling you about. So, Cherokee Orchard, 0.6 this way, which is where we're still headed. And Grassy Branch and Horse Stable, 2.6. So those must connect. That other intersection that we had must intersect with this one. But for us, we are still headed this way, 0.6 miles. So we are getting close. Well, believe it or not, the rain has now shifted over to a mixture of snow flurries. I doubt you're going to be able to see it on the GoPro as fine as they are, but you may be able to see a few flurries mixed in with that. So, that's what happens when you get up to these higher elevations. But I don't think it's going to be anything significant, so that's good. Oh, well, I said that and then more flurries started to show up. I still don't think it's going to do anything, but It's nice to see though. All right, so here's another intersection that veers off to the right. So Cherokee Orchard, 0.4 miles. We're almost there. And all right, Alum Cave, Rainbow Falls that way. And then Mount LeConte, 6.4. So I think this actually gets down here close to where the parking area for Rainbow Falls is, but we'll find out here in just a little bit. All right, so I finally made it. This is as far as I'm going. This is the final destination for me. And it couldn't have ended any better, having one of these big bridges to go across. You can see the water there flowing down, going downstream. I'll get a better shot here in a second as I go across. But up around through here on the other side, that's where the parking is for Rainbow Falls. And I'm not gonna go over there. It'll just increase the hiking a little bit longer. And I'll be honest with you, I'm give out, but I wanted to at least get a shot of this. Hopefully you can see that. And then this direction, that's another good view. Here's one last shot of the bridge from a distance. And then this is actually a road where the Park Service can get through here, but there's so much water flowing over it right now, you can barely see it. All right, so that was Old Sugarlands Trail. Again, that was a impromptu hike this morning. I had originally planned to go to Chimney Tops, and there was another section of the trail over there I had not done, and I was gonna knock that out. But the road was blocked off, so did this one instead. And I'll be honest with you, I was pleasantly surprised. However, this trail did take a lot longer than I originally expected. All Trail said it was about 7.5 miles round trip, so I was expecting about 4 hours. And as you see through this video, that actually turned out to be a lot longer than I expected. I was wandering around all over the place, checking out some other trails. So according to my All Trails app right now, I've already done almost 8 miles, and it took me about 4.5 hours. So hopefully if I just stay on course and do the straight trek back to the truck, I'm thinking maybe 10.5 total round trip on this one. Probably going to take me, I don't know, 7.5 hours. Hopefully I can pick up my pace, because this is going to be downhill from now. This section where I was having to come uphill and go through all those down trees, I mean, there were probably 30 or 40 trees easily. So at least I'm going to be going downhill this time. I'll still have to climb over them, but hopefully it won't be near as bad. Did see a few snow flurries, kind of a wintry mix right now. The temperature is showing 36 degrees. It was about 42 when I left the house this morning, so a little colder up here, which I expected. But this ended up over, like I said, near the parking area for Rainbow Falls. So if you want to see the very end of this, you can literally park right there and walk maybe 10 minutes and get to the same spot. So that would have been much, much easier. But you know me, I take the hardest route possible. Enjoyed seeing the rest of this. That one cemetery that I found, I do believe that is the Old Sugarlands Cemetery. Even though my All Trails app was telling me that wasn't it, I think it was just off, because I didn't see another trail anywhere else for a second cemetery up here. Saw the old fireplaces where there used to be some buildings, several of the stone walls. Saw the turkeys there at the end, and I should have got that on video. There towards the end, they got a little territorial, and I thought they were going to come after me. They got really close, and they were making a lot of noise. So anyway, that would have made a funny video, but I didn't get that. But overall, a really good hike. I enjoyed it. Hopefully you did too. If you did, please go ahead and hit the like button. I'd also ask that you go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything, but at least it'll give you a notification the next time I have another video that comes out. But until next time, remember, just keep walking.